And so this is review right here. What is your A? Your y-intercept or your initial amount. I can't spell. Y-intercept or initial amount. So make sure you're writing this in your notes. What is your R? Your rate. So R is your rate as a decimal. And T is usually your X value. It has to do with time. So fill that in on the top right there. That shouldn't be anything new. So we're on the notes for today. You know if it's 1 plus R, you know it's growth. It's growth. And if it's 1 minus R, you know it's decay. So we're going to show you what it looks like with growth and with decay. So appreciation needs growth. So when you see appreciate, it means it grows. If you see depreciate, it means decay. So an example of that is like when you buy a car, right? As soon as you take that car out the lot, it depreciates in value. That means it goes down in value. Like I bought a car when I was in high school and it was worth like $30,000, right? My car broke down basically. It was on its last edge. I had to trade it in a month ago and I only got $6,000 from it. That was 2012. It was a 2012 car. It was actually my sister's car. But 2012 until 2018, that's not that many years, it went from 30,000 to 6,000. That's how much it's worth. That's because it depreciates in value. Appreciates means it increases in value. So you know those like vintage cars that you kind of see at shows and things like that? The older they are, the more they're worth. That would be an example of appreciating. And so when you see those words, I just want to make sure you know what they're saying. So here's an example of each one. We even split it up where one is decay and one's growth. And so this says a biologist is studying a frog population in a lake that has recently been cleaned up after an industrial accident. In 2007, she estimated the population of about 150 frogs. If the population continues to grow at a rate of 10% each year, how many frogs will be there in 2013? That's a lot of words, right? So first, I know my equation is this right here. What is my initial value? How many frogs do I begin with? 150. So at the beginning, I know my A is 150, because that's how many frogs I started with. Then, since the population is growing, would I add or subtract from 1? Good, so I know it's 1 plus, and 10%, what would I put right there? What is 10% as a decimal? 0.10. And for this, you don't need to simplify it. You can just put this, you'll be able to put this right into your calculator. And then to the X. But now they want us to fill in X. They're saying how many frogs will be there in 2013? I would have put 2013. I would figure out, okay, how many years is between 2013 and 2007? How many years is that? Good, it isn't. When I originally did this, I said 5. So here's my 5. So all you're doing is putting this right into your calculator. So in your calculator, don't put y equals, but you're just writing this just as it is. So 150 parentheses, 1 plus point, like you don't even need to simplify that to the 6th power. So you're putting that right into your calculator. You get what you're doing right now. You're putting it right in just how it looks, like this, in your calculator. What do you end up getting? What's the actual number? 265. Is it a decimal? Point what? Okay, so we'll start there. It's 0.730. Now, could I have 0.7 of a frog? No, right? That would be kind of weird. So what you have to do is remember if it's 5 or above, you round up. So I need to round up to the nearest frog. So is that number 7? Is that 5 or above? Is the 7 5 or above? Yes. So that 7's going to round that 5 up to a 6. And so my answer would be 266 frogs. Does that make sense? And that makes it's because it's growing. If I'm starting at 150, is that growing 266, 150 to 266? Is that number growing from here to here? Mm-hmm. All right, let's try one depreciating. So it says you drive a car off the lot paying $17,000. For the next 5 years, the value of your car depreciates at a rate of 13% annually. How much will your car be worth in 5 years? So this is basically what if any of you guys want to drive a car, right? Your car is going to depreciate in value. Even when I was buying my car, they said, oh, someone just bought a car for their wife. They drove it, they didn't like it, and brought it back, and it was worth way less than what they paid. They lost a ton of money. Because as soon as you drive that car out of the lot, it depreciates in value. So let's figure out how would I write this equation? What is it starting at, that car? How much? 17,000. So I know that is going to be my A. $17,000. Then if it's depreciating in value, is it going up or down? Down. So I know it's 1 minus. And what's 13% as a decimal? 0.13. And then for X, what do they want? How many years do they want to find out what the car's worth? 5. So now you're putting that again in your calculator. This time when you round, you're going to round to the nearest cent because we're talking about money. What do you guys end up getting for this one? What is it? 847.31. Did the rest of you guys get that? Seems a little low.
I got 14,700.
All right, so when I look at my, let's see. If you got this answer, you just forgot to put an extra 0. So you put 1,700 at 70,000. So just move the decimal point over 1. It was 8,473.60. You're just off by a decimal. That's probably because you put 1,700 instead of 70,000. And that makes sense, right? In 5 years, if it started out 17,000, look how much it depreciated in value. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe. All right. So now you guys are trying these next two. So first you're going to try to set those two up. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to set both of them up and make sure you got that correct. Then try to round your answer to whatever it's talking about. So, all right, let's make sure we at least set these up correctly. So I would have y equals, Karan, what did you get for your A here? 500, beautiful. And then Tyreek, what did you have in your parentheses?
1 was 0.6. I mean, 0.06.
0.06. And then how many years later is it asking you? 3. Perfect. So I saw some people have 0.6. Remember, 0.6 is 60%. Cool. Let's see who can help me up with the next one. Angel, what was my A? Good. 8,000. And then Brandon, what goes in my B right here?
1.
1. So 1, did you say minus or plus?
Minus.
Cool. 1 minus 0.11 or 0.11. And then how many years were they asking? Beautiful. Did anyone get the answer for the first one? Anyone get the answer for the first one? What was it, Tyreek?
I got 595.550.
595, is that what you said? Point what? 50, and then this is going to add to this is going to go to actually a 1. Because it should be 50 and then something above. So it would round to this since it's money. $595.51. Who got that? Awesome. Who could tell me what they got for the answer for the second one?
4,467.24.
Beautiful. Who got is their answer for the second one? So all you're doing is just putting that into your calculator. The only thing is this 4 right here will actually round to a 5. Because you have to look at, what was it in your calculator? 0.2 what? Mari, what was in your calculator? 0.24. What was the next one? 7.
7.
So see how this 7 is next to the 4?
Round to 5.
So it's going to round to 5. Like that. Cool. All right, so now the next one, do you do it alone? You are getting a stamp for that. So I'll give you a few minutes. You're trying the last ones on your own. And then we're just